Hi again everyone, that was just quickly showing you my Bedini in action. We're getting 1365 RPM at 300 milliamps. Okay, I'd like to show you how I've achieved that improvement, despite the fact that I do have these two generator coils loading the motor as well. Okay, I've achieved this speed and low consumption. Just move the light for you so we can see. Okay, by fitting bearings. Now this is now a really nice rotor. I'll take it off so you can see it. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have seen, but there are pretty professional remote control cars these days that use wheels like the one you can see here inside the CDs. This is the hub minus the tyre, so it's already perfectly made to have the hole there, which, as you can see there's a bearing in, and one of them is sat on the shaft I have on the wood there. So they're not the best bearings in the world. They've had so much wear from being on the car for a long time. They don't free spin very well, but fact is, having bearings in a good, very well machined disc is going to vastly improve the performance you get out of this type of motor. So the main point of this video is to tell you all about my adjustment to the Bedini circuit. I always noticed that I wasn't getting as much the ability to tune as much as I would have liked. So as you can see now, I've now changed my potentiometer. I'll see if I can refocus for you. Okay, so there's my transistor, and coming off the base is the resistor there and the pot. Now this is now a 500 ohm pot instead of the 1K, because I figured you set the pot to have no resistance, okay, and then you move to increase the resistance slowly. So you go from 100 ohm base resistance to just over that using the 1K. I always noticed it was closer to the one side of the pot is a large amount, the other side is the lower amount of resistance. I always noticed it was really close to the amount with no resistance, so I figured, well, we don't need a resistor capable of going up to 1K. So I thought, right, we'll half it and go for a 500 ohm. I'll show you another example of another 500 ohm. It's really small, 3 pins, absolutely tiny, and you have to turn them all with screwdrivers. I haven't been able to find one that has a lever, but this isn't too hard, especially if, as I say, if you use a breadboard like this one. I'm going to reset my circuit to use this breadboard to get things really nice and neat. I did try the Daft Man's nail idea, nailing it to the board, but the tip of my soldering iron isn't big enough to get enough heat into the nails, so that it proved difficult. But either way, the 500 ohm pot has really improved my tuning ability, and as the speed that you get out of it because of the bearings has improved the tuning as well. So with no resistance in the pot, I allow it to get up to speed, and it will consume under half an amp now. or as much as 1 amp, depending on the power in your primary battery. So you then see what you leave it with no resistance and see what you're getting into the charge battery and how much you're consuming, and like before, tune to where you need to be. But because it's a 500 ohm pot, tune to the point where you're getting the most charge into the secondary battery for the least amount of current draw. You'll find that with a 500 ohm pot you'll have a much increased sensitivity in finding that sweet spot of the circuit, and I now have full control of how much current this motor is using. I can tune it down. I have a tuning range of 300-400 milliamps, so I can get it to consume a lot less, sacrificing charge into the secondary, or I can get it to really drain the primary and really juice secondaries at high speed. But the fact is, it always stays over 1100 at least RPM once I've reached the sweet spot at 300 milliamps, and I'm still getting nice charge into the secondary. So it's very variable depending on how you have your circuit configured, the impedance of your coil, how many turns it's got, everything. Like adding an inductor coil for some people really helped. For mine it didn't, but this 500 ohm pot has. So if you find that you might be one of those people that is finding it difficult to find your tuning spot or to get the inductor to work, you'll find that this will give you a much greater degree of control, and as will using bearings in your centre. So I'll just whack this on for you really quickly. You'll also find I'm now using a drill to start this, because it's the force of these generator magnets of the generator coils is quite great, so it's difficult to get it up to speed, but one quick blast like this is enough to get it up to speed. 260 milliamps, 270 milliamps, 280 milliamps, 'Just measuring the speed for you. At 280 milliamps. I'll quickly get you the charge in the batteries before the end of the video. The primary battery is running at 12.44 volts, and the secondary is at 12.7273 and climbing. One last word of advice is, whatever you do, do not disconnect your secondary battery while you have the 500 ohm pot. Thank you very much.